Hi, my name is Carly, and today I'll be talking to you about malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. Every minute, at least one child in Africa dies of malaria. Malaria claims the lives of over 500,000 people in Africa every year. Its most susceptible victims are children under the age of 5 and pregnant women. This disease is spread by the mosquito. The mosquito is an insect that to many of us is pesky and annoying, but one we rarely see as much of a threat. However, to the people of sub-Saharan Africa, this bug is lethal. It's the fear of every parent for their child, born or unborn. I've spent a large amount of time studying this topic since I've learned about it. I haven't been able to get it off of my mind after hearing about all of the suffering that's going on there. So I made it a priority to study and research it so I could help others understand it as well. Malaria is preventable and curable. The people of Africa unfortunately have very limited access to these medications and preventative measures. Many people are trying to change that, and there's been some great success over the years, but there's still so much to do. The threat of malaria has been removed from a lot of the world. It's been eliminated in the United States, Russia, Europe, and many other parts of the world, but its deadly presence is most felt in the poverty-stricken countries near the equator. Malaria is a disease that needs the attention of the world. If it continues to go beneath the radar, this problem will never be solved. Millions of children and pregnant women will continue to die at heartbreaking rates. Most of us cannot donate hundreds of dollars to solve this problem. We're just not at that point in our lives. However, there's much that each of us can do to help raise awareness. In order to do that, we need to understand what's happening in the world concerning malaria. Malaria has been affecting animal and human lives for over 4,000 years. Originally, it was believed that malaria was transmitted through the air, and that's how it got its name. Malaria literally means bad air. In the late 1800s, it was discovered that this disease is actually spread by the mosquito. By the early to mid-1900s, the world was in an all-out malarial crisis. Relief came in 1939 when an insecticide referred to as DDT was discovered. DDT was instrumental in the elimination of malaria from the United States and many other parts of the world. But unfortunately, before malaria could be eliminated from sub-Saharan Africa and a few other countries, DDT was banned for some negative environmental effects. With this, the push for worldwide elimination was somewhat abandoned. Sadly, the people of sub-Saharan Africa continue to suffer with this disease. So you may be wondering, what happens when a person gets malaria? When a person is infected with malaria by a mosquito, the mosquito transmits little parasites into that person's body. Those parasites then travel to the liver where they multiply, and then they spread throughout the body and attack red blood cells and destroy them. The symptoms of this disease usually occur within 10 to 15 days after the bite. The infected person starts showing signs of this illness with a fever, headache, chills, and vomiting. These symptoms are also common with a lot of other illnesses, so it can be difficult to recognize malaria. However, the scary part is that if this person does not receive treatment within 24 hours, this illness could become a serious, highly fatal condition. When a person has severe malaria, they could also exhibit some of these symptoms: severe anemia, hypoglycemia, acute kidney failure, fluid buildup in the lungs, and many other symptoms. Another scary fact about malaria is that it can remain dormant in one's system for weeks or months or even years, and then strike suddenly out of nowhere. So as you can tell, malaria is a very serious illness. It hits hard and fast as soon as the symptoms start to appear. Luckily, there are some medications to treat malaria, but sadly, they are losing their power to fight the disease. There has been a recurring problem of anti-malarial drug resistance, which basically means that the parasites that the mosquito transmits into the person are evolving to where they won't respond to the medications that are being used right now to fight malaria. So what is needed is new medications or new combinations of medications to fight malaria, but this is an expensive and time-consuming process. Despite the issues of drug resistance, there has been some huge success in the areas of prevention. There's been a big push recently to get insecticide-treated mosquito nets into the homes of the people of sub-Saharan Africa. These mosquito nets protect people while they sleep. since the mosquito is most active at night, it's really helped to cut down the transmission rate of malaria. These mosquito nets are a huge success because they work, for one, and also they're relatively affordable. However, the nets are not a great long-term solution. They serve as more of a band-aid to the real problem. Malaria needs to be pulled out at the roots and destroyed. But there are many different reasons why sub-Saharan Africa is plagued so much by this disease. Sub-Saharan Africa is a great climate for mosquitoes. They don't enjoy the cold, so since Africa is such a warm climate, they're able to be active for longer periods of time. Also, sub-Saharan Africa is vastly populated. There are so many people there that live so close together that the mosquitoes have plenty of targets. So that is a real problem. And then also, many of the African people have homes that aren't really designed or capable of keeping mosquitoes out. So the mosquitoes are able to travel to and from homes and throughout the whole village and infecting people as they go. There have been some recent medical advances that have offered some hope in helping relieve the malarial crisis in sub-Saharan Africa, but they haven't proven to be quite as effective as hoped, and they also won't be available until 2017. The World Health Organization has released this finding from their clinical trials. Clinical trials results show the vaccine offers only partial protection, preventing 1 in 3 cases of malaria." End quote. This vaccine is good news, but it's not entirely the solution to ending the fight with malaria. In order to end malaria, there needs to be a greater priority placed on its research and administration of treatments to those affected. Many are being made aware of this situation of the people of sub-Saharan Africa, and those people are pushing to get this sad situation fixed. There's a great momentum building, and it's time for us to join in the push. Good things are coming. We do not have to just propel this cause with our money. I personally cannot afford to donate much money right now to help this cause. However, there are other ways to help. People need to be made aware. A buzz can be made around the world to get people's attention focused on this issue. A whole lot of good can be generated from a little buzz. The key to getting the world's attention lies in small things. We are able to just talk to people about these issues. We can tweet about it. We can share pictures of people affected by malaria on our Facebook pages, writing about our feelings in a blog, creating an informing video on YouTube, writing an article to be published in a newspaper or magazine. These are just a handful of ideas that could be used to generate awareness of this issue. But the ideas are endless and can be far more effective and far-reaching than we can imagine. We do not have to just stand helplessly with our hands tied watching the destruction of millions of people. Each of us has the power to do something to relieve the suffering in our own way. I dream of a future where a mother and father can sleep peacefully at night, without the fear of finding their child sick with this deadly disease in the morning. I dream of a time when a soon-to-be mother is excited to have her baby, without that joy being tainted by an overwhelming fear of contracting a disease that could mean the death of her baby, or both of them. If this dream is to come true, then we all have to reach outside of ourselves. Albert Einstein once said, "A person starts to live when he can live outside of himself." All that I ask is that each of us take some time to ponder how we can help ease the suffering and then do it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.